Let's talk about what colleges are going to look for and what's going to make you a candidate and a student that they want to work with. And what you have to understand is college is a huge business. It's a big business. It's a lot of money that goes through it. If you think of, the differences just in the heads of the different organizations. A head of a high school is called a principal. The head of a college is called a president. And why different names? Well, principal's job is to graduate their students. That's what they do. They want to make sure that their graduation rates are high, that the education is really good. A president of a company or a corporation, what's their job? Well, their job is to make the company profitable, make the organization profitable, and that's really what a president of a college campus's job is. They want to make sure there's a lot of money going through, and that they're making a profit, and they're able to pay everything, and they're attracting more students. And think of yourself, yes, you are trying to impress the school, but the school also has to impress you. It's a two-way street. It's almost like when you go on a job interview. Yes, you're trying to get the job, so you want to be impressive, but also the person who's representing the company, who's hiring, has to impress you, because if you're a good candidate, they want to bring you on. So it's a two-way street, and you want to make yourself as impressive as possible, but the school wants to make themselves as impressive as possible, because you're the one who's paying the money. You're the customer, as well as you're the customer. You're the person they're trying to attract to come in. So, think of my school, for example. I'll use Rutgers as an example. So I was looking up, their in-state tuition is right around 10 grand. It's right in that ballpark. $10,000 to go. There were, right now, as I looked up, there was 42,000 undergraduates that are at Rutgers. So that means that and by the way, 30%, 30 to 40, well, about 30%, a little bit more than 30%, are out of state, and that means they pay double that. So they're paying $20,000 to $28,000 out of state tuition. But let's just pretend everyone was in state. So if everyone, that 42,000 people at $10,000 a pop, you're talking about over $420 million worth of revenue just in tuition. Then you have room and board. Room and board for Rutgers is about $11,000. So now you're going to have some of those people be commuters. There's also like $3,000 in like college fees, just for stuff. So you're talking about just on room and board and tuition, you're talking over $600 million that goes through that school every single year. And that's before I take, and I didn't even put, again, we're taking out the out-of-state people, so that's going to be even more money. And then we're not talking about like their football program and their sports and their research center, all the other stuff, all the money generators that go through there, their fundraising campaigns and donors and all that kind of stuff. So you're talking close, if you added all that stuff in, you're closing in on $1 billion organization. That's just one college out there. So it is big money that's out there in colleges. And so what are they looking for? What do they want from you? Well, if you think of an as a college, well, they don't want people to come to college and drop out. It's just not what they're looking for. They're looking for people who are going to pay that $10,000 or $20,000 or $30,000 or $50,000. Not just 1 year. They want people that are going to be there for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. We want students who are going to be there for 4 to 5 years and graduate. And then what we also want as an administrative person is, as an admissions person, I should say, as an admissions person, I want them to graduate, and I want them to be successful afterwards. So then we can point to them and say, this person came from our school, this person came from our school, and that attracts more students to want to go there. And then we're going to call them, and you're going to be a legacy, and you're going to want your kids to go to the same school because you had such a great experience, and you're going to donate more money. Why do you think schools take legacies, sons and daughters, more than they take them into the school, or they're a little lenient with their standards, because of the fact that they know that if they call you in the donation calls, come and your son or daughter goes to that school, well, you're probably gonna donate more money. So just understand that you are a customer, you are the product, they're selling you on the school, and they want successful people. They want people to pay and stay at their school for a long time. Why am I telling you this? Well, here's, as you probably gathered from the rest of the site, again, 30 to 40% of students fail out their freshman year. Okay, that's a lot of students that are leaving after their freshman year. 50% of the freshman class doesn't even graduate with a degree. So what is the admissions person doing? Okay, well, if you were a admissions person, now an admissions person isn't sitting there with dollar signs in their eyes like, oh, let's find let's find the person who's going to stay the longest because of money, but that's their job. Their job is to find they want to find candidates that are going to do, or students who are going to make it through to the senior year and graduate in 4 to 5 years. That's what they want, so that way you'll pay money for 4 to 5 years as opposed to dropping out of your first year. So if you understand that concept, you have to look at your application and say, is my application good? Am I explaining to this person that I can face adversity? Because there is difference. That when you get to college, you're going to face adversity. Those students who have 4.0 GPAs and who do really well in high school, with weighted grades and all that kind of stuff. Well, wait till you have to go to classes. If you think a 40-minute class is long, wait till you have to sit in an hour and a half class, and you have the total freedom to go to class or not as far as schools go. Or when you have to write, now a 5-page, 10-page, 30-page paper, or you have to read books that that they don't talk about in class, like. These are adversities. Then you have all the social aspects of college and just dealing with, all that kind of stuff, and living on your own and dealing with your roommate, and money. You have to actually buy your food and all that kind of stuff at that point. So that's what they're looking at. They're looking at when this person faces adversity, how do they react? How are they going to? Are their study habits good enough? Why do you think they look at college classes in your transcripts and weight that higher than your regular classes or weighted grades? Because I want to see, when you're at a college level class and you're working at that level, are you going to make it? So so all those factors are going into the thought process of the admissions person, and that's what they're trying to decide upon. Are you going to make it? Are you not going to be in that 30 to 40% that leaves the college and only pays our school for 1 year? Okay, so put yourself in that mindset as you go through, as you make your application. Put yourself as the admissions person. Say, what is in my application? What's in this application that says I'm going to make it? Like, I'm going to get a degree, and I'm serious about this, and I will be there, and I'm going to be paying you money on the customer, but I'm there for a reason, and I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to be successful, and that's what they're looking for. So the rest of these videos will help you make sure your application looks like that, but understand that mindset. I think the mindset and understanding the concept is probably the most important thing.